Dizzy Crafter here with a little video. My plan is for this year is to try and do more tutorials and show you the things that I make and like record me making them as well, and not try to spend as much. Last year I went over the top a little bit, I'm sure you can agree, and it's about time now I start to use these items up. So I literally wanted to have a go at this little vanity box by Tonic Studios, and this is the Devotion vanity box and memory book die set. I wanted to make this for my friend. She had a special occasion that she's done this year, and I wanted to gift her something that I've personally made, that then she could put some photographs in of that special occasion. And I thought, why not go with this Sir Vagabond paper. So I've got these die cuts here and here, and then I'm going to be using the 8x8 papers, and if I need any other papers I'm going to use this, the Essentials Crafters papers, and this is the Vintage Emporium. So like these have got lots of different things. I feel like it fits very well with the Sir Vagabond. So that's what I'm going to do. Now let's just take a quick look at the die set itself. So this is the dies that you get. As you can see, you get lots and lots of dies here. This is what's going to make the basic box, and then you've got lots and lots of arches and like things to make your books and your mini albums and stuff like that. You've got lots of like little buckles and stuff like this. There's just so much to go with these. I really like it. And then if you open it up, you've got all the instructions on how to actually make it. Now it does show you a spine here, but on this particular one you don't get the die for the spine, but it's pretty easy, and they basically give you the instructions for it anyway, so hopefully they've got the measurements for that so I can easily do that. As you can see here, you've got the ribbon going through and stuff. You don't necessarily have to add the ribbon on these, so you can have it just plain and you can have it with ribbon. I'm thinking I'm not going to do it with ribbon because I don't have that much ribbon, and I really don't think I've got that much kind of ribbon that would go through there anyway, so I'm going to leave that step out. Anyway, without further ado, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go off, I'm going to die cut all this out, and then I will be back to show you how we put it all together. Right, so I've got everything cut out, and I thought, well, first of all I would put together the actual vanity box. So I've cut out my papers I want, I've also cut out some mirror card for matting layers, and I've even cut out an extra piece to go on the front of the box so that it protrudes a little bit. And I did have to do some fiddling about to work out which die was for which, but it was pretty simple really. So we ended up with two this size as well, and we also ended up with two of these, but then you have to do these pieces here individually on top of that, and then I've also done that on the pieces that's going to go on the inside and the outside, so they'll work out lovely, and they all should hopefully, fingers crossed, line up. And then I also did an extra piece to go on the inside so that it was nice and flat, because my plates are a little bit battered now and it's picking up all like the gnarly marks, and I didn't really want any of those. So let's make a start. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to bone folder all the pieces, and then we can start to glue them together. Right, now I've done that, I'm going to glue in the inserts just because it's going to make it easier to glue it in now than it will be later on. And I'm going to be using the wet glue, and I just want to double check that I've got the right pieces, and I have. So I'm going to glue all them in. And just so I did know, I did actually write on the backs of these so I knew which one piece was for which one as well. And I've just realised after doing that it actually still protrudes a little bit, but I'm not too worried about that because we're going to be having these, which is going to cover it even more anyway. It will protrude on that side, so that's what we're going to do next. And then I mean to put the mirror card on, so I know I need to have that on the inside and this one is on the outside because I can see the difference there, and I also written it on the back because there isn't much difference in them, but it does make a difference, if that makes sense. So I got those in, and it really does make it much more sturdier as well with all those layers. But now I want to put the layers on these pieces as well. So I'm going to do the inside and the outside. And these are going to be the outside pieces, so they need to be glued on this way. And I shall do that first, and then I'll do the outsides. And then we're going to decorate the outside as well. So like I say, I've already cut out the pieces for this, so we're going to glue these on. Now I just want to glue the sides on as well. So because I want the mini album to be able to be removed from the vanity box, I'm just going to place a couple of magnets down, and I'll put some on the spine of the mini album itself so that it can be taken out. It just makes things a lot more easier to be able to see things and put pictures and stuff like that in. So I'm just going to place a couple down before I put on the next piece, so this can help disguise the actual magnets. It'd just be easier that way, and I'm just putting them in place with some red tape. Now we can glue this piece into place. So this is the box done. So basically what you have to do now is just close it up by hooking on each one of these little army things here, and it's quite simply done. She says you just kind of hook them on like so. Once you've got one, the rest are easy, and you don't necessarily have to have them all if you didn't want to, but I want to keep them all because it just adds that little bit more stability. Just want to flatten them down as well. And then just pull those sides up. And these should technically go through just ever so slightly behind the front and the back. And I'm hoping this will meet up. And that's the box done for now. So we can crack on with the mini albums. This is what it looks like. I think maybe I put too many layers on, and that's why it's not going in as snugly. Maybe I shouldn't have placed so many layers on that, but it doesn't matter because it just gives a nice little flick up really. Maybe I can work on that, I don't know, but it feels really solid. It's not going nowhere. It's really, really nice. It's a nice size as well. I really, really like how it's turned out with the papers. We've got the Brooklyn there, and we've got the hair coming down, which I did see, and the neck of the lady. I did actually see a lady. I really don't know what her YouTube channel was, unfortunately, but when I find it, I will find it, and I'll link it in the description below, because she'd also used some of the Stamperia papers, but ones I didn't have, and that's what gave me the idea for this face and the neck here. But yeah, I really liked how she did that, and it followed on, and the papers followed on there. It was a really, really cool idea. So let's crack on now with the actual mini album. So the first thing I did was I cut two more of these semicircles that went on the inside of there, just for the book cover, and then I've just cut out several of the pages, which is a slightly smaller one than them, and then there's a stitch die in them, and I'd used the whole of, cut out a load of papers for the stitch die, and I also did some gold matten layers for the front and the back page, and I also made a spine. I made this spine by myself. I'm just hoping I've got some cool measurements and they work out right. I've actually gone 10 centimetres by 6.5 centimetres, and I've done each like lip where the cards are going to be 1 centimetre, but then in the gaps in between I've done 1/2 centimetre. So what I'm going to do off camera is I'm going to glue all this up together, because you don't need me to see that to be done, and then I'll come back to do the pages. So I've done the spine and I've taped it all up together, and this is how it's going to be. And then I've also done a cover to cover all the ugliness of that spine, and we're just going to attach them there. But before we do, we need to actually attach the magnets so that it will stick to the magnets we put on the base. So what I need to do is ignore this spine, put this roughly where I want it, and hopefully the magnets will stick. And then I just need to glue those down again. We're using the double-sided tape. So we've got the magnets all in there, so they'll be nice and secure, and we know that it's going to stick to that, so that's fantastic. Next thing I need to do is remove all this double-sided tape and apply it to this spine. And then you want to just burnish all that down. And then it's just assembling it. So I need a gold for the back and the front cover. So I need to glue those down first. And then I want to put the covers on the front and the back. And I have actually cut this, but it will need cutting down because I just cut it the same size as the other one, but obviously my spine is going to be much smaller, so I'll need to work that out. But for now, let's just adhere this down. I love this bird. How cool is he? And I'm sure my friend will as well. Now we can start adhering the pages, and I'm going to start with the back cover, and I'm going to just like try and put this in the centre, so I'm going to centralise it best I can. And the best way to do that is actually have your red liner tape, but also add a little bit of glue, because that will give you the manoeuvrability and just give you that little bit extra wiggle time really. Normally I would actually decorate the pages up and then attach them to the book, but because this is slightly different, I'm actually going to do it a different way this time. So I'm actually going to put all the pages in blank, and to do that I'm going to be using wet glue. Obviously we've got the red tape, liner tape here as well, so that's going to really help. So I'm going to take that off, and then we're just going to apply all the pages. So I'll just show you the one how I'm going to do it, and then we'll continue from there. And using the wet glue will give you that time to manoeuvre things around. You want to make sure it's married up perfectly, because you don't want an overlapping on the other side, so you check both sides. Once you're happy, make sure you press it all down. And I like to use a bone folder just to burnish them together and make sure those adhesives are sticking together. So that's the back page on for now, and then we're going to do the actual book pages, which I've cut down slightly smaller. And I want to make sure that there's two different sides. So you've got the nice smooth side, and then you've got the side where the die cuts, you feel like the beveled edge on any die, so this is no different. So that's how you want to make sure your pages are going to line up, like so. So we'll just add the tape and then we can crack on. And this is where you really want to make sure that it's placed on the page, but it's also kind of in the middle of the front and the back page, if that makes any sense. Because obviously this is smaller, you don't want it marrying up to the end, so you are going to get this overlap here, which is perfectly fine and normal. Just going to burnish that tape in, and then we'll crack on doing the rest. I did actually forget to put some ribbon in, so I'm hoping I can just prise this open a little bit to add some ribbon inside before the glue dries. And what I want to do now is, I don't know if you can see here, but the glue hasn't quite pinched it, so I'm going to add a few bits of glue inside, and I'm going to put some paper clips to keep that sturdy, and I'll do that on both sides. Right, so now I've got all that in, I'm just going to leave that to dry for a bit, and then we'll come back and we'll decorate it all up. I can remove these clips now, and hopefully that has done the trick and got everything stuck down. And we can see that definitely did do the trick. Everything is stuck down perfectly, it's nice and solid. So then we've got the pages we've cut out of the papers. I've also cut out some blank extra pages as well, because I want to create some pockets, but I didn't want to be using more of the pattern paper, not because I didn't want to use the paper, but it's such a small scale of being able to put things in, and didn't want it too bulky because it wouldn't then fit in the box. So what my plan is to do is to cut these into different angles and glue them down onto these blank cards, and then glue these into each page depending what angle I do, which then will create the pocket, and then the rest of the page I can then marry up, if that makes sense. So I don't want to talk through whilst doing it, but that's what I'm going to do, and I'll just fast forward it and add some music for you. That's the first pocket done, and it is a little bit snug, but that's what you want to hold in your little cards. So you won't be able to put anything bulky in there, but that's how I'm going to continue. So the picture is still the same. I hope this makes sense. It does to me, and I did want this white line to differ, like, so it shows there is actually a pocket there, but you can still see the picture is just still great. So that's the book complete, as in like the construction. Now we just need to make like the tags and stuff to go inside. So these are all like the little pockets. I've done like just strips here so we can tuck things behind, tuck things inside all these little pockets as well. And we've got another belly band here as well. So that's basically it. Pop that back in, and that's how it's looking so far. And then I'm going to make all the little trinket tags. To make some of the tags, I'm actually going to use some of the papers that's left over from the die cuts from the pages I'd made. I'm just going to cut out things that I think may look good in the book. So like this Sir Vagabond ribbon here. There's lots of stuff on the back there as well. I really like this section here of the glasses and the propellers. So that's a really cool one. I'd have liked this one here, but I've kind of snuck into here, but maybe I could still use that. So that's what we're just going to do. I'm going to literally cut out bits that I can see that I would like to use. Well, I've cut out lots of little pieces for the scrap papers that was left over, and I've made some little flappy books, nothing fantastic, just something that folds over. And then I've got the papers that are left that I can also use. Unfortunately, I won't be able to use this page because these are too big, these tags, but I can use them on a different project. I can add these in as well if I want to fussy cut these. These tags I will be able to use, and I'm going to cut some of those out as some words as well. And then these are just the two papers that I never actually used at all, but I think I'll save them for another project. So what I'm going to do is going to cut out some other stuff, and then I'm going to assemble how I want it. I'm going to probably put some blank cream card on these as well, so you could add your photos or the journaling spots. And then I'll come back with the finished product, and hopefully you'll like it. Well, the whole thing is complete now, and I've got it all boxed in and sealed and everything. I did make this tag, I'm not sure if I did say anything, but this is just for my dies and stuff from there. And like I said, the papers are all lovely. And then you just unhook that, and then it all just opens up lovely, and you've just got to unhook all these little pieces of card here. And then we can take the album out. So just all flaps open and take the album out. I've added in a chipboard piece here, and then this Life is a Journey, and then I've also added in a little piece of card so that you can put some pictures or some journaling in there, and that just tucks inside. And then we have the book, which you've seen but not seen, with all like the little tags and stuff. So just open it up with a ribbon. And then like this is the front of the book, and I've just used some of the die cuts here saying unique, because this couple to me are unique, and they're both very, very special. And then inside I've used some more of the die cuts and stuff, so I've used the propeller here, so I'll just turn it that way. I did just some cream card originally, and then I did the propeller over the top. It was an afterthought, but it just kind of fell nicely, and I thought with this clock it kind of could have been a clock hand. And then we've just got lots of these little journaling spots here, and they just snugly fit in together. And then on this side I used a piece of the paper I cut out saying New York, and I've attached them. And then we've also made some more journaling spots, and because obviously these are double-sided papers, I have put it on plain cards so that you did want to do writing you could, and you could leave the nice pattern papers and have pictures on the other side or anything like that, what they'd wish to do. And then we've got this next piece here, and I've just put a chipboard saying memories and some cogs here, and I've cut out some of the tags here and made some more out of the piece of paper that was left. And then on here I really like this gentleman people here, this little photo. So I cut that out and added that on, and then I've done the journal lettering, and then we've just got some more tags again. So there's lots and lots of journaling spots in this, even though it's only such a tiny little book. And then we've got some more journaling spots, and I've used some of the glasses from the hats, from, you know, like on the hats there from when they're flying in the airplane, the goggles. I don't quite know what the official name is. And then I've just done another belly band, and I've added this practice in and fairy sentiment and some more tags again. And this is a little tag book, so you can do journaling in there. And on the outside you've got the Brooklyn Bridge. So sorry, I totally out of camera there. So they just snugly fit in there. And then the next page, or the last two pages really, we've got some really dinky journaling spots here. And then we've got a long journaling spot. And then we've got some of these cogs again. The very last page, I have got some journaling spots. I've added in this card just because it matched the papers on this particular page and I really liked it. We've got a really long journaling spot here, and then we've got the last tag, and then at the very back is the bird paper that you'd see me put on, and then I put my soul is in the sky. And that's basically it, guys. So I really hope you've enjoyed watching me make this mini album. I've 100% enjoyed making it, and I just hope my friend enjoys it too, which I'm sure they will. And I'd like to say thank you for watching. Please comment, subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and let me know what your thoughts and ideas are on this project, and hopefully I shall see you in the next video. Bye.